was one of those frustrating days as an Arsenal supporter. Yesterday, watching them play Sunderland in the opening game of the EPL season. As some of you know, or most of you would know, that's why you'd be watching this video, the game finished 0-0. Yeah, it was very frustrating. It was one of those games where Arsenal have, 70% possession for the entire game. End up having, I see here, 14 total shots to 3, 4 on target and 10 off target, and don't win. It's one of those games that, you feel like it's going to come back to bite in the long run, when you might be close to winning the title, and those drop points there could cost you big time. Those are the annoying games when the teams come to the Emirates, and most Arsenal supporters would know by now that they love to park the bus. If they're not one of the top teams, one of those attacking teams, they will park the bus, they will get everyone back, and they will just, basically say, alright, try and pass it through us. When you can't, because there's a wall of 10 of them there. And we tried to do that, and, there was a few big chances. The Giroud one, when he was on his right foot and Cazorla set it up beautifully. He had an outstanding game, and you just figured, he would finish it, and he missed it, and that was really the way the game went. We would just try to make chances, and when they did, we just weren't clean enough. Our passing was too slow, as Arsene Wenger reckons. I thought that too, especially it was in the 85th minute, and I thought, okay, let's go, let's push for the winner. And they're just taking it, easily, casually, just passing around the back half when they should have been pushing forward. And I'm not sure if they were, in that mindset because, first game of the year and you gotta get into the swing of things, or, the lack of Van Persie there, and they didn't trust Podolski or Giroud, in that front half yet. Not too sure, but it just lacked something. I mean, we dominated possession, that's all well and good, it's good that we have the ball, but you want to do something with the ball, and we weren't able to really do much. Gervinho was good, his set-up plays were magnificent, but as always, his finishing, that last ball, that last piece of the puzzle, didn't come into play, it didn't work. And there were so many chances where he would get on the edge of the box, he'd done a massive run, from the left wing, cutting in, and you're just thinking, just take the shot, mate, just do it, just shoot. You're a striker, that is your job, man. But he never did it. And, the ball would be taken off him, or a corner or something, but he just needs to be a bit more ruthless. When he gets that second of space, that little bit of space, take the shot. Especially when you're that close, just go for it, mate. That's something that, a Van Persie or, someone like that would, do. They would just take the shot. They'd be ruthless. They wouldn't, panic or anything like that. He's got the guts to cut in, just finish it off. I mean, that's something that he needs to get better at. It was just, one of those games, you just felt like it wasn't, if we didn't get the early goal, then it was going to be really hard to break them down. And the longer you go without scoring, and Arsenal's pretty bad at this, the longer you go, the more nervous they get, and they don't score, and it ends up being a really, frustrating draw like it was. And Sunderland will get more confident as the game goes. They haven't scored yet, well, we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and it'll work, and we'll take the draw, and we'll be happy, we'll get the point. But if we get the early goal, then it forces Sunderland to say, well, we can't just stay back because we'll lose this, and probably lose it by 2 or 3 goals, we need to actually go forward. And when they go forward, it opens up the game, and then we get them on the counter-attack, as we love, and we score. So that's why we probably do better when we play against the top teams, because they're not afraid to leave the back a bit open. But the other teams that come like Sunderland and the Aston Villas and all that, they'll just flood the back half, and it makes it very difficult for us to get through, which is, annoying, because you want a team to come and, play football, as it should be played, not just, basically say, okay, we'll take the draw and we'll leave. Not, alright, we're here to win. Because they weren't even there to win, and Martin O'Neill, whatever his name is, the coach for Sunderland, just basically, loved the defensive effort. There was nothing in attack. They had one striker, and every time they got it out of our attack, it just came straight back because there was no one there. There was their player onto 4 of our defenders. Obviously, the squad's not, as it should be yet. There's a few players there that you wouldn't really want in the first team for Arsenal. Kashania was missing, Murtasaka was centre-back, Sanya's still injured, so we had Jenkinson at right. Gibbs was on the left, as he should be now. He's the, designated left-back for us. The midfield needs a bit of a tweak. I mean, We've lost Song now, if you guys don't know. Song has, basically signed for Barcelona, so we've lost our best, defensive midfielder of the past year and our best striker in the past year, in a space of 5 days, which isn't great. But I think we're going to get Son from Real Madrid. I mean, Arsene Wenger was asked after the game about it, and he had a big smile when his name was mentioned, so that's a pretty confident sign that we'll get him from Real Madrid, so that'll help. Because last night we had Arteta, we had Diaby, who was pretty good when he, coming back from injury, and Cazorla, who was outstanding. But they're too attacking for my liking. Arteta's the one that can stay back a little bit. He needs a bit of support. You can't just have, that midfield, especially with Rosicky coming back. And you've got Chamberlain, who might play a bit more of a central role as he did in the friendlies. And Walcott's a bit of an iffy one. I mean, he's fast. He's, you feel like he should be really dangerous, but without his speed, is he anything else? That's the one thing that, kind of gets me. If he didn't have that speed, would he still be selected in the team? I mean, Chamberlain's got the speed, but he's also got the foot skills, and he can finish. Walcott, does he have the fancy foot skills? At times, but it's not him. So he's one player that I'm a bit worried about. I don't know. He hasn't re-signed yet. There was something about, he wants to leave. Van Persie doesn't stay, then he doesn't want to stay. I don't know what's going to happen there. But overall, that game was, a really frustrating start. It was one of those things where, Arsenal fan, especially me, I was, leading up to the game, really pumped. Podolski, Giroud, and Cazorla are all going to play. We should do well at home, get the fans going. Show everyone that we don't need Van Persie, we don't need Song. We don't need those players to still be a top 4 contender. And didn't work out. They parked the bus, Sunderland parked the bus, and we couldn't, get through it. And that's something we need to work on. Our passing needs to be quicker. We were too casual. Especially when there's that chance where we can break through the 10 people that they put there. You got to take that chance. You can't just hesitate. And I know it's only the first game, so I won't go too hard on them. But hopefully, expecting a better turnout in the Stoke game. I'm expecting a better game. That's going to be next Sunday. The stats, I might as well read them out to you guys. See what you reckon. The free kicks, 10 to 14. Some of them were really dodgy. No penalties, total shots, domination, crosses 1 to 2, corners 7 to 0. So we had a few corners. They were pretty disappointing. Cazorla was dropping them a bit short for my liking. I was thinking maybe Arteta or someone like that, or even Podolski when he was on to whip it in with his left foot like Van Persie used to do. It's very hard not to think of, if Van Persie was there, we would have won, if, blah, 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 all that sort of, hypothetical stuff. It's very difficult to get out of your mind just yet. Clearances 2 to 8, 2 to 6, offsides 2 to 1, fouls 12 to 0. Really? 12-0 fouls? Oh, I don't know if that's right, but no, apparently it is. We're sitting 10th on the ladder or something like that. Fulham on top, Swansea 2nd, West Brom 3rd, and Newcastle 4th. So that's an interesting top 4. I know it's only around, first couple of games, but it's a bit different. But I'm sure after tonight, Man City will pop up there and take the lead as they want to. Bit frustrating, that game overall. We've got to tweak a few things. I'm not sure if Podolski should, be the main man. I feel like he would be good on the left and Giroud in the middle. He's 6'4". I didn't realise he was that tall, but he likes the ball crossed in early and he likes to head the ball. So that's something we need to work on. We didn't really cross it to him enough last night. He came on, with plenty of time left, but he didn't get a genuine chance until that chance that he missed. And I just had this feeling, as I said before, it just happened again, and it's a new year, the lead-up's great, it feels like it's going to be a different year, and then, it's a draw, and cool. Great signs. At least we didn't lose, because these were some of the games where we would dominate for, 85 minutes, and in the last 5 minutes, they'd have a cross, and we'd concede. And when they had that free kick towards the end, I'm not sure who took it, Larson or something, didn't quite, get onto it, but those are the times where you just feel like, in the past, Arsenal let you down and they would lose 1-0 after dominating the game. At least we got a draw, we can move on. Unlike Liverpool, who lost badly, Daniel Agger got a red card. Just seems like the same old shit from Liverpool, so I don't know if Liverpool fans are going to, enjoy this season. They thought it'd be, better than last season with the new manager and a few new faces. Not a great start, sitting in the bottom 3 at the moment. So, relegation zone after their first game. Thumbs up to Liverpool. But that's it, that's my little take on the game. I might do this, you know, a weekly thing, every Arsenal EPL game for the rest of the season. Depends if I have time and all that sort of thing. But overall, disappointed. We still, you know, had a few chances there. Cazorla was the shining light for me. Diaby was very good. Gervinho was good until the final ball. Walcott needs a bit of work. Podolski needs to get used to the style. And Giroud, the same thing, needs to get used to the style. Because it's hard to compare them to Van Persie when Van Persie was there for 7 years and he knows exactly how Arsenal want to play, whereas those guys have only been around for a couple of weeks. So give them a couple more weeks, you know, a bit more training under their belts and they should be okay. Hopefully we get a good win against Stoke. Arsenal fans, tell me what you thought of the game, you know, who was your man of the match? Mine was Cazorla. I thought it was outstanding. He was the one in the midfield that tried to do something, tried to break the Sunderland defence down. And instead of just passing it around, you know, like they wanted you to, he tried to get through them. And he set up the best chance of the day for Giroud. The, you know, reverse through ball was brilliant. Good signings for Arsenal. Not the best start to the season, but started off with a draw last year, you know, to Newcastle at St James's Park. Hopefully we don't follow with a loss, because last year we lost to Liverpool in the second game, and that's when we lost Nasri. So hopefully history doesn't repeat itself and we don't lose to Stoke, because they've often been tough, you know, customers when you go, especially when you play them at their home. But yeah, just, you know, generally pass the ball quicker, tweak, you know, a few aspects of the game, and personnel changes as well. A few decent players that were missing, so put all that together and hopefully we get on a roll and, you know, start a lot better this season than we did last season. Thanks for listening.